My name is Lee Hyun. For 3 years, I was Choi Yuna's husband. She had a helicopter, a driver, a personal chef. I didn't work. I brought her coffee. Watched her sign $1 million contracts. Yuna's mother called me a freeloader. Her friends called me a mistake. And I said nothing. Because they were right. Then everything fell apart in a single day. And I was the only one who didn't walk away. Friday, 6:47 a.m. I wake up on a busted couch in a $400 studio. Yuna sits on the floor, clutching an empty wallet. Her fingers are shaking. Yesterday she had a personal assistant. Today she can't afford eggs. She looks at me. No anger. No hope. You're all I have left. And it sounds like a sentence. 3 days earlier. A huge corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows. Yuna signs papers without looking. Her deputy, Park Myung-soo, smiles and hands her one document after another. I sit in the waiting area, drinking coffee. An assistant brought it to me. That was the last minute of my old life. 24 hours later, the company's accounts are frozen. 12 more hours, and our house is sealed. Bailiffs carry everything out. I stood there watching them take the couch I'd slept on for 3 years. Because we slept in separate rooms. Yuna screams into the phone at her lawyer. His voice is cold. You signed the asset transfer yourself, Mrs. Choi. There's nothing I can do. She throws the phone on the floor. The screen cracks. I pick it up. Say nothing. Because any word would only make it worse. First night in the studio. We don't talk. Yuna lies on the bed alone. I'm on the couch. Thin walls. I can hear the guy upstairs watching porn. That's the kind of detail that says, "Welcome to reality." In the morning, I walk to the 24-hour store. Before I leave, I polish my crocodile loafers, the last ritual of my old life. I have $50. My pocket money from 3 years of marriage. The cashier looks at the shoes. Rich? Used to be. Yuna eats ramen in silence. Then she says, "You could leave. Go back to your parents." I'd understand. My parents live in a one-bedroom outside Daegu. I'd sleep on the floor. Same difference. She nods. That's not cynicism. That's honesty, something we never had between us. I look for work. No experience, no degree. I'm 34. My resume says personal errands. Even delivery places won't take me. On the 5th day, I go to a construction site. The foreman looks at my soft hands. 50 kilo bags. $80 a shift. I say yes. The first bag, I can't lift it. Just can't. My back gives out. The foreman laughs. I get it on the second try. Legs shaking. By evening, my back hurts so bad I can't straighten up. But I move 20 bags. I get back to the studio at 8 p.m. Yuna asks, "Where were you?" I lie, job interviews. She looks at my dirty t-shirt. Doesn't believe me. But doesn't push. We're both learning a new life. Yuna sends out resumes. A top executive with experience. 3 companies call. One invites her for an interview. She comes back 2 hours later. They offered me a secretary position. Minimum wage. Pause. I took it. We live on 2 salaries. Mine $80 a shift. Hers $1,200 a month. It's nothing. But it's ours. For the first time in 3 years, something shared. One day she finds my shoes by the door. They're covered in dried cement. The expensive leather is ruined. She stares for a long time. Then covers her face with her hands. I stand next to her. Don't hug her. Just stand. An hour later she says, "You're working construction." Yeah. Rent's due. She nods. No more tears. Then I'll work too. I don't argue. We're not in a position to. On the site, I meet Choi Tae-soo. Ex-detective, fired for drinking. Carries bags like I do. He smells like booze in the morning, but his head's still sharp. A week in, I tell him about Park. Tae-soo says, "I know a detective. He can check the signatures." 3,000. I start working nights office cleaning. Construction by day, cleaning by night. 3 hours of sleep. Yuna doesn't know. 2 weeks later, I have 2,800. Borrow 200 from Tae-soo. Hand it to Detective On. 5 days later, he calls, the signatures are forged. But for court, I need another 2,000. I sit at the construction site, staring at nothing. No energy left. No money left. My whole body aches. My phone rings. Unknown number. Lee Hyun? This is HR at a major company. You're a good fit. Just send $500 for processing. I almost say yes. My hand goes for my pocket. Tae-soo snatches the phone. Scammers, you idiot. Hangs up. I was one step away from giving away everything I had left. Tae-soo hands me a cigarette. I don't smoke. I inhale, cough. You want to help too bad. People use that. I get back to the studio. Yuna can tell something's wrong. I tell her about the scammers. She's quiet. Then, I have a ring. My wedding band. It's worth about 5,000. No. That's the only thing you have left. You're more important than a ring. We sell the ring for 3,000. Yuna doesn't haggle. She doesn't care anymore. I take the money to On. 3 days later, we have the expert report. Yuna's signature on the asset transfer is a fake. It's a weapon. But not a victory. Yuna goes to a new lawyer, a sharp-eyed woman named Irina Kim. She studies the documents. Park Myung-soo isn't stupid. He has connections. But I can take the case for 5,000. We have 1,200. I'll borrow from friends, Yuna says. Friends don't pick up. The ones who do say, sorry, times are tight. Yuna doesn't cry. She gets angry. Tae-soo says, I know someone. Kang Dae-soo. He was partners with your wife's father. He lends money at interest. But he's dangerous. A loan shark. Kang? Yuna goes pale. He was behind Park the whole time. I always suspected. Park was just a pawn. My blood runs cold. We thought there was one enemy. But he was just the shadow of another. If Kang gives us money, we're in his web. But without money, we get nothing back. Your call, I say. Yuna clenches her jaw. We go to him. But at least we'll know who the real enemy is. Kang sees me in his penthouse. On the walls, photos of Yuna and her father. You're brave, Lee Hyun. Park was my man, but he overstepped. I'll give you 20,000 for the lawyer. In return, 30% of whatever you recover. Plus the patent. And if we don't recover anything? Then Yuna's warehouse. It's worth 150,000. You have 3 months. And don't try to fool me. I'll know. I go back to the studio. Yuna listens. We take it. But we record every move he makes. 24 hours later, we have lawyer Irina Kim. We file a lawsuit. Park Myung-soo is summoned for questioning. But he finds out. He calls Yuna. Drop the suit, or your husband has an accident on the site. We don't tell anyone. But I understand, Park isn't the main one. Kang is. On the site, 2 men come up to me. They hit me in the stomach, the face, kick my legs out. I go down. 3 broken ribs. Cracked jaw. Yuna sees the bruises. Doesn't cry. Goes to the kitchen, gets ice. Park? No. Kang. A message. Yuna says, I'll go to Kang. Ask for protection. I try to get up, can't. Don't. I'll handle it. She looks at me. With broken ribs? No. Now it's my turn. She leaves alone. She comes back 3 hours later. With 2 bodyguards, ex-special forces. Kang gave them to us. Free. Until we pay back the debt. Nothing's free, I say. I know. But now we're being watched. And no one's hitting us. With the bodyguards, life changes. I go back to the site. Tae-soo meets me. I found Park's guy Young-hyuk. He faked the camera footage. He's 200,000 in debt. We can buy his testimony against Park for 50. I call Young. Say I'm a lawyer. Park will throw you under the bus. We'll pay 50,000 for your testimony. Young is quiet. Then, meet me at 6 a.m. in the park. Alone. No security. I go alone. Tae-soo gives me a hidden camera. Young is sweating, even though the morning is cold. Park will kill me if he finds out. Make it 100,000. 50. Plus relocation. We'll arrange it. He agrees. Hands over a USB drive with the footage. It shows Park carrying out servers. I give the drive to our lawyer. Solid gold. Park will be arrested in a week. The next day, Young is found dead. Fell from a window. Officially, suicide. Tae-soo calls, he was pushed. Kang got to him first. Yuna sits on the edge of the couch, white as paper. They killed him. Because of us. No. Because of Kong. And we're going to use it. I still have the drive. But who leaked? I hide the USB in a crack in the concrete at the site. Only I know where. And Tae-soo. 2 days later, Park calls Yuna to the warehouse. She takes the bodyguards. I hide in the trunk of her car. My ribs hurt. I stay quiet. Park is waiting with 3 men. Baseball bats. You lost, Yuna. Drop the suit, I'll give you 100,000. Then get out of here with your janitor husband. Yuna says nothing. I climb out of the trunk. A crowbar in my hand. Park doesn't recognize me at first. Then his face changes. You? I swing the crowbar into the nearest guy's knee. Crack. Bone breaks. Park shouts, kill them. Kang's bodyguards step up next to us. 4 against 3. I don't know how to fight. But I've been carrying bags. My punches are slow, but heavy. One of Park's men hits me in the face. I go down. Yuna grabs the crowbar, swings it into his head. He drops. Park tries to run. I catch his leg. He hits the concrete face first. I get on top of him. You go to prison. Or I kill you right here. Park wheezes, prison, don't kill me. Police show up in 15 minutes. Park is taken away. The detective looks at the crowbar, my broken ribs. Self-defense. But don't leave town. Yuna is in the hospital, concussion. I sit next to her. My jaw is wired shut again. She looks at me. You risked your life. Because you're my wife. And because Kong has to pay. Park is a pawn. We know that now. She nods. Then let's hunt the real animal. A week later, Park is arrested. Bail is set at 500,000. Park doesn't have the money, creditors empty his accounts. Our lawyer calls Yuna, Park will give up everything. Name your price. 5 million plus costs. And he leaves forever. Park agrees. The money is frozen until trial. A month later, Yuna gets 5.2 million. It's not the whole company. But it's a start. She looks at me. What now? Take back your office and the patent. I'll handle Kong. The court gives Yuna back the warehouse, the water purification patent, and the old office. We start a small company. I keep working construction and cleaning. One night, I'm cleaning a competitor's office. I see a contract for 20 million. Yuna's technology. Signed by Park. I take photos. Show Yuna. She goes pale. The buyer is Kongdase's shell company. He stole my father's technology, used Park to sign it away. But the original patent is in the old office safe. Biometric lock, only my fingerprint works. We go there at night. Kang's bodyguards follow us. We go in through the back. The safe is open, empty. Kong got there first. But Yuna pulls a USB from a hidden compartment. Copies of my father's contracts. Proof that Kong set up Park and stole the technology. Now we have leverage on Kong. But he's more dangerous than ever. He has men, money, connections. And we owe him 1.5 million plus the patent. We meet him as partners. Act like we don't know anything, Yuna says. Risky. But there's no other way. The meeting is at a restaurant. Kong smiles. How's your husband? Still on the site? Still there. And guess who I ran into? Detective Lee, the one who worked your extortion case. Kong stops smiling. Careful, boy. Yuna jumps in, we want to buy out your share. 100,000 on top. You walk away. Kong laughs. The share is worth 2 million. You owe me 1.5 plus the patent. Either you give me everything, or I take everything. He leaves. An hour later, a call, Tae-soo was arrested for an old drunken fight. Kong pulled strings. Yuna looks at me. Run. I'll handle this myself. I grab her shoulders. No. I carried bags. I cleaned toilets. I broke my jaw. You're my wife. I'm not leaving you. She cries. For the first time in all of this. We go to a journalist. Hand over copies of the contracts. This is 10 years for Kong. But I need a recording of him making threats, the journalist says. I put on a hidden camera. Go to Kong at the casino. Yuna is against it. She's yelling. He'll kill you. Kong is sitting at a poker table. You're brave, Lee Hyun. What do you want? I start the recording. Give back the patent and walk away. Or we go public. Kong is calm. You think I can be blackmailed? I have a prosecutor in my pocket. A judge on my payroll. He calls his security. They beat me. Take the camera, smash it. But I already sent a copy to the cloud. Yuna gets it a minute later. They dump me on a vacant lot outside the city. 3 fingers broken. Head split open. 2 more cracked ribs. I crawl toward the road. An hour later, a cab driver gets me home. Yuna opens the door, sees me. Her face goes white. She already sent the recording to the journalist and the police. It's over, Hyun. I collapse on the couch. Kong? Arrested. For good. No bail. The next day, Kong is charged extortion, threats, theft, corruption. His assets are frozen. The patent goes back to Yuna. I'm in the hospital. Yuna sits next to me, holding my broken hand. You're an idiot. I know. But we're free now. 3 months later. Yuna launches the company. I work as logistics manager. No more construction. No more cleaning. We have a small apartment. 2 bedrooms. Not a studio. We sleep in separate rooms. For now. Park Myung-soo sits in prison. He writes letters begging for forgiveness. Yuna burns them unread. Kang Dae-soo is in a maximum security cell. 12-year sentence. Tae-soo is out. Works as our security guard. Drinks less. Silence. For the first time in 2 years, I hear real silence. No calls from creditors. No threats. No fear. Just the wind outside the window. And Yuna's breathing when she falls asleep on the couch next to me. One evening, we drink cheap wine. Yuna says, you know what I was most afraid of? Not losing the money. You leaving. Why? Because you were the only one who never wanted anything from me. I did want something. For you to notice me. To ask my opinion. To say thank you. But you didn't know how. And I didn't know how to ask. She's quiet. Then she takes my hand. Now I do. And you do too. The business moves slowly. 5 employees, a small office. But no debt. One day, Yuna's old friend Lee Ji-eun shows up. I heard things are turning around. Want to join forces? Yuna looks at her coldly. Get out. I don't need you. 6 months later, we land a big contract. A grocery chain wants our water purification system. 2 million. Not 20. But our first real success. Yuna celebrates with the team. I watch from the corner. Someone asks, how did you two meet? I was her freeloader husband. Now I'm logistics manager. Everyone laughs. Yuna says, seriously, it's true. And he saved my life. Silence. Then applause. I blush. For the first time in a long time. We buy an apartment with a mortgage. Not a penthouse. Ours. Yuna says, let's sleep in the same room. Are you sure? Yes. I'm tired of being alone. First night in the same bed in 4 years. I don't sleep. Just listen to her breathe. In the morning, she makes breakfast. Burnt eggs. I eat them without complaining. 3 years ago, a chef cooked for me. Now, my wife. We drive to work together. I'm behind the wheel of an old car. Before, I sat in the back. Yuna says, I want a baby. I almost fall off my chair. Now. We have loans. We have us. That's enough. We think about it for a month. Talk to doctors. If you're ready, I'm ready. The pregnancy is hard. Yuna struggles with morning sickness. I take on most of the work. Handle negotiations, sign contracts. And no one calls me a freeloader. The birth. I sit in the hallway on a plastic chair, gripping my keys. 3 hours later, the doctor comes out. A girl. Healthy. I cry. For the first time in years. Yuna holds our daughter. Looks at me. Let's name her Hyunwoo. After you. The first year is hell. But a good hell. I change diapers, stay up all night, fight about stupid things. But in the evening, when our daughter falls asleep, we sit in the kitchen and just say nothing. Together. The company grows. 20 employees now. I'm not the logistics manager anymore, I'm vice president. Sometimes I wake up at night and don't know where I am. The studio? The site? The hospital? Then I hear Yuna breathing and our daughter breathing. And I know, I'm home. Hyunwoo is 3. She asks, Daddy, are you rich? No. But I have you and Mommy. That's rich. She doesn't understand. But someday she will. 5 years later, the company is the market leader. Yuna gives an interview. The journalist asks, what's the secret to your success? She looks at me through the glass. My husband. He stayed when everyone else left. They call me husband of the year. The same guy who carried bags and cleaned toilets. Now a mean hero. I don't care. I'm no hero. We sit on the balcony. Drink wine. Watch the city. Were you scared? Yuna asks. Yeah. Every day. And now? Still scared? Yeah. I'm scared of losing you or Hyunwoo. But now I know what to do. My name is Lee Hyun. Once they called me a useless freeloader. Now I'm Choi Yuna's husband and Hyunwoo's father. I stayed. They all left. And that's the only victory that matters.